She hadn't thrown me a ball all day, so I was like, the first pitch is going to be there. And I just trusted that, and when I saw it out of the hand, I just went for it.
Reagan Kramer's second home run of the year is a grand slam off Carlin Pickens.
Oh, back-to-back grand slam games.
I've become a fan. I have become a fan. I found myself yesterday afternoon watching every pitch. I won't go so far as to say hanging on every pitch, but I was paying attention. And I knew if I missed anything, Bart would fill in all the blanks. And it was that was a good win. That was a good win for him. And they played today against Oklahoma.
Patty Gasso, the legendary, the GOAT.
They, I guess, have revenge on their – well, maybe not revenge, but –
winning seems to be in their DNA.
That's the best revenge right there. To win the game.
They just seem to have something going right now. And as Bart pointed out yesterday, this is a little bit different than the SEC baseball tournament. Like, go win it, and it's not the pitching. You don't have as many arms you got to worry about out of the bullpen in softball. Listen, I'll just continue to sing the praises of Courtney Deifel and her staff and the people she's brought into the program because just personally, they've made me care about softball. That's as good a testimonial as I think you can give.
You got me and you talking about softball right here. That's not happening.
And then you say that and you're almost embarrassed to admit, like, maybe I wasn't really paying much attention before. Because it's once you are, you're like, what have I been missing?
I was thinking about that as I was driving in. I knew we were going to talk about this, and I thought we don't want to make it sound like it just started when we discovered it. Right. I mean, I hate it when people do that.
We're late to the party.
It's like you're late to the party, and you're acting like it just started. And I don't want to be that guy. By the same token, for me, it is new. And I found myself yesterday doing something I'd not done before, rearranging a lot of my day so I could watch the softball team play. And then they won the game. And, Bart, I want to go. Can you get me in? Can you get me into the regionals?
I think we can probably find you.
If I go with you, can I get in?
Well, I mean, yeah, probably.
Chuck's too embarrassed to call the other people that he could get them in and be like, oh, now you want to come out, you front running.
That's right. That's exactly right. I want to be able to ease onto the bandwagon without anybody going, oh, hey, man, welcome to the bandwagon.
I've been
nice
here all
of you
year.
to join us.
Don't sprain your ankles jumping off on the bandwagon here.
Back-to-back grand slams in consecutive games. They hit grand slam to walk off the previous game, and they hit one in the sixth inning to take a 6-1 lead and finish off Tennessee and their ace, Carlin Pickens. Bree Ellis was going to be the story. Carlin Pickens was going to be the story, and then Reagan Kramer steals the show. She has 2 home runs on the year. That was her second home run of the year. The first one was back in February. She comes up with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Sorry to steal all your thunder, Bart, but I read about it. And I was ready to watch the game yesterday. I was ready to watch the game, and then, real life and work took over. And the thing about softball is they're fairly quick games. They're quicker than baseball. And the next thing I know, everything's been spoiled because Bart sends bang.
I did not do that.
In the group text. But I mean, you did, but you said it in a different way. You said Arkansas and Oklahoma in the semifinals.
That's
tomorrow.
right. Making sure everybody knew. 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock today, right?
Yes.
Think about this. And I've not done this before. It's going to be a softball, baseball doubleheader. We got softball at 3. What do you think? 2 hours on the game? 2.5 max?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it'll be.
So we're done by 5:30.
Yeah, you're going to have to kill an hour.
Baseball at 6.
Yep.
Well, you have a between game meal.
You don't get drunk. Don't get drunk and then miss the whole baseball game.
I was
reminded.
That's right. I was reminded, seriously, watching that sequence when she hit the grand slam. There are similarities, lots of similarities between the strategy in softball and baseball. Because if you listen to what she said and you watch what unfolded right there, this was right after their head coach or pitching coach, somebody was at the mound. All right, bases are loaded. As a hitter, you're going to get a strike. That pitching coach is not out there. Well, why don't you throw the first one in the dirt with the bases loaded, and then we'll come get her. They're not saying that. They're saying you have to throw strikes. So you know that first pitch may be the only pitch in the at-bat that you get to hit. And when you're facing a power pitcher, the power comes from the pitcher. It doesn't come from the swing. It doesn't come from going for the downs. It comes from the pitcher. And she got her bat out there. She got the barrel out in the zone, got ahead of the ball. Not an overly powerful swing. And the power from the pitch did the work. And the ball's out of the ballpark and you win the game. But I really enjoyed watching them play yesterday. And the way they broke it open was, it was fun to watch. They're good. They're really good. And I watched Ole Miss and Texas play a little bit after that. Not for long, but for a little while. And Arkansas is better than those teams, right? At least the team I saw yesterday was better than both those teams.
Let's go to the Chevy of Fayetteville situation.
Yeah, we got to
room
go to Bart.
Softball's biggest fan.
That's right.
Well,
where are we right?
Good morning,
Where are we
Bart.
wrong here, Bart?
Good morning.
guys. You kind of stole my thunder.
Well, that was the idea.
I'm useless now. You've taken my.
That's what we do. I knew it was serious this morning when Bart came into the office and closed his door.
Well, he's got a big game today.
Chuck walks in. He goes, "Is Bart not with us today?" I'm like, "I don't know." Is his RAF? Is his new ride in the?
Well, I didn't
is
drive
it in
all the way out
is it
to
in
the cove here. I didn't go over to the cove.
He's got to ferry in from where he parks his vehicle, so I'm going to get a ding on it.
I stopped in the normal people's parking lot, and so I didn't see his. I didn't know if he was here.
Yeah. Do you go to like Uber the games now, like the softball games?
No,
you drive your ride?
I drive my ride. Yes.
Do you put a camera out on it?
No,
See
I
if,
don't.
If you get dinged,
I don't.
I
Maybe
got
I
your-
should.
I got your license plate.
Maybe I should.
He parks at the furthest parking
Do
spot.
people do that? If you get a door ding, do they investigate? Do they call? Can you imagine if you're in that
I
dispatch
don't.
in the Fayetteville Police Department or
Now, if I
Alba
saw
or
somebody purposely like slamming their car door
Fort
into my
Smith
vehicle,
PD,
then I would have a
well,
problem.
I mean, come on, who does that other than somebody who follows you on Twitter? I mean, nobody does that unless they know it's you and they follow you on Twitter.
I don't think Bart's the one who needs to worry about that.
Oh, we're all in it. I don't know if you know, Edward. We're all in it together.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
right.
Have you told Hannah? Like, hey, we're gonna have to beef up on security this week.
That's right.
She thought it was hilarious.
There's crazy people. They're Chuck wanted
Private
to
security.
Make sure the blinds. Were,
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I came in here this morning. The
an
blinds
angry
are
mob
open.
of Twitter people
For the
yesterday.
first time since we have started this show, I got out of my car, I looked up, and the blinds are open, and I'm like, well, that's odd. and then I'm thinking, I've been watching Mobland, and so I'm thinking, is this an inside job?
Yeah.
Like, are they leaving the blinds open so people can get a cleaner shot?
Yeah.
What's going on here? And I immediately thought of Edward.
Well, we're trying to drive up your hero status on a near miss.
Well, I don't know, but I'm glad to see the blinds closed now.
We want to make you. I mean, you can reference that if you want. But I mean, it's true. A near
I
miss
heard it.
would make,
I heard it.
Would make Chuck. It would make him, legendary.
Yeah, it would.
Beyond what he is already today. By the way, I've got home from Ty's graduation get together with 7 or 8 other grads, and it's that time of year, man. Here we go, graduation. We got the university graduation this weekend. We got high school graduations coming next week, and I get home and I just turn on the TV and I'm just mindlessly flipping around as I get ready to fall asleep. And 2 for the Money, Matthew McConaughey and Al Pacino. Come on.
Wow.
The movie.
Yeah.
And I immediately thought of Bart. And I thought of John Anthony. You are John. If you haven't seen it, Al Pacino takes a innocent Matthew McConaughey who's just good at picking games and turns him into, this is John Anthony, the $1 Million Man. Call my 1-900 number and I do nothing but 80% winners.
All he does is win.
And Sarah might have said, you think that's who Bart wants to be? And I'm like the Matthew McConaughey part, or the
Al Pacino,
or John Anthony. Is it Matt? Does he want to look like Matthew McConaughey, or does he want to be the John Anthony picks?
All right.
I do want to turn this into something.
I'm telling you, he's good.
I do. We'll take
all it takes is a marketing plan, and he's there.
We'll take one of the Chuck and Bo company burner phones, and we'll have it set aside for you, and people can call and get your picks. And I just want to see what kind of engagement we get. Also, what kind of voicemails are left.
It would be huge.
Yeah, but the best part will be the
Oh,
voicemails.
yeah. That's right.
You
After they
stinking
lose.
clown, bleepity bleep bleep bleep. I mean, that'll be great content. And Chuck and I will get a healthy laugh out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to work for you,
Yeah, probably not great.
but we could just put you out there. When do you want to start? Do you want to start with
Preakness week
right now?
Preakness week begins Monday.
You got NBA playoffs going on. You got any locks for the playoffs?
Not really. The playoffs have kind of been unpredictable.
Do you have any bold predictions about the softball team? Do you want to just step out there and say, hey, they're going to, maybe win it all?
I think they're going to go to Oklahoma City
Do
for
you
the
really?
first time.
Wow. Do you bet on baseball?
Big news.
Like big league baseball during the summer?
Not typically.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, that's hard to do.
Well, it's just
I know
it's
people
a
who do.
losing,
I do too.
it's a-
Korea. I bet Korean baseball.
It's a losing effort because like the odds are like you're either playing the money line or you're playing the run line. And the run line, it's the same odds every game for just about, more often than not. And then the money line, there's usually like no good return on value unless you really believe that, there's going to be an upset or something.
But you have analyzed it, obviously.
Yeah. I
You
just
know
don't-
why you don't do it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I got you.
I stay away.
We got a big
It's
show.
not smart.
Big show lined up today.
We do, as a matter of
We got
fact.
an ESPN writer, Jake Trotter, who's talking about the rush now in college athletics and the importance or why people think it's important to have this general manager position filled. And I'm continuing to be interested in the, I'll say, evolving landscape of college athletics, particularly college football. And so there's another little dive at that today, a slightly deep dive. Let's see what we can learn. What we figure
I got some
out.
questions on
Yeah.
on that.
And then Ben Blakeman's going to join us.
I got questions for Ben, too.
Our friend Ben. By the way, if you're late, which I know you are, for Mother's Day, anybody listening is probably late. I mean, if you got ahead of the game, you're in the minority. So what do you do? Well, what's a move you can make? Not just jewelry, but Ben is a man of importance when it comes to hospitality and gift giving. You know what I mean? He understands how. What's the word I'm looking for? People that are great at that. People that there's just that mom that they got everything.
They take
They
care of
always know
everything.
You call them, and you're like me right now. Well, what do I get all these kids for graduation? I mean, I know like 40 of them.
He's going to know
what
the
do I do?
answer. He's the guy that you go, hey,
Oh,
Ben,
they
man,
gave
it's
you-
Friday. It's
right.
Mother's Day, man.
Yeah.
You got to bail me out.
Zach
He'll bail you
He'll
out.
bail us out.
Yeah.
And then Zach Gillum here later with what's happening at the sports book at Oaklawn this weekend. We got a huge weekend. This is a big weekend.
I know.
And we got a new pope.
We do have a new pope, an American pope.
Yeah, how about that?
Tell us more.
First time ever.
Tell us
First
more.
time in
Tell us more
history.
about the Pope. I heard he was the lieutenant governor of Ohio.
I don't believe that.
Is it Leo or Leo?
Leo.
Leo. Okay.
Leo the 14th.
Wait, so Jim Tressel's not the Pope?
No, Jim Tressel
Oh.
is not it.
I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Yeah. He was not ever going to be the pope.
Thanks for the fact check on it. Well, what if he was? What if yesterday?
What if Jim Tressel
What if
was
Jim
the
Tressel
Pope?
came out yesterday, waving with a sweater vest?
I think I would have laughed maniacally and then had to be like
Listen,
Cubs fan.
committed somewhere.
Cubs fan. I
No,
see.
White Sox fan.
Oh, really?
White Sox
South
fan.
side, huh?
Yeah, there was some misinformation on social media, and
Well,
then
I
somebody
feel
went,
better about that
somebody
now.
went and interviewed his brother.
I was
and,
concerned
and,
about that.
dug up a photo of him in White Sox gear at the World Series.
all right. Well, who's the Pope?
Yeah,
Who
so,
actually is he?
Cardinal Robert Prevost, now Pope Leo the 14th, from Chicago. Spent his career ministering in Peru before becoming the head of the Office of Bishops. First Pope from the United States. He's a Villanova grad.
Oh,
Bodes well for the Knicks.
my.
And a sports fan by all accounts, like a real.
So you think
like
he knows
American
Jalen
sports
Brunson?
fan. I don't know if he knows him personally,
Oh, I
but
bet he
I
does.
bet. Yeah, I would bet he does.
Yeah.
So
I
I
bet
was
he does.
I was thinking as I watched the video
Pope's
of
a
the
Knicks
Pope
fan.
coming out.
I think
bet
he's
he's
a
a
Bulls
Bulls
fan.
Yeah, he's a Knicks fan now. Villanova,
Bulls
man.
fans don't exist anymore.
Bulls aren't playing.
So I was thinking as the Pope came out, I just had this moment of humanity where I'm trying to think what he's thinking, wondering what he's thinking, and is it a number of people, like how many people were up to be the Pope?
Well, I mean, literally any.
Okay.
All right, how many people voted?
So
how many
do you
people
think
voted?
122 or something like that?
There were 130 something members of the College of Cardinals.
By the way, did the Cardinals win last night? Were they off? Were they
were
distracted?
idle.
They were idle. So
They're
they
playing
were
the nation's capital
They had to get
tonight.
it done yesterday while they were idle.
Yeah, they had a day off, so they picked the Pope.
But any adult Catholic male who's been baptized and confirmed could technically become Pope.
So my thought
I was
was
eligible.
what I was
Pope
wondering
Bart.
about the Pope thinking is did he have any idea this was coming? Did
Probably not until after
but
the
imagine,
first round of
just
voting.
imagine, let's just put you
Yeah.
in the Pope's shoes yesterday. And this in the morning, you're doing the Chuck and Bo show and saying ridiculous things and, just telling people they should be banned from life and things. And the next minute, like in the afternoon, you're the Pope. like it's just wild. To
what
me,
a day.
to
What a
me,
day.
Can you
Huh?
imagine? Like,
Yeah.
you mean me?
That's been a heck of a
Me?
day.
I'm the Pope? Me? That's what I was wondering if he was thinking.
I mean, probably a little bit of that.
I mean, that's just pretty wild.
because you don't really know until
There-
like after that first round of voting, like who's
There
in
aren't
the mix.
many,
and then-
like to my knowledge, there's not a lot of circumstances like that in life.
no.
Like most people kind of know it's
All
coming.
of
You either
the-
getting the job or
I'll bet
Chuck's
he
getting
knew.
it.
I'll bet he
all of
knew.
the like
Oh,
expected,
come on.
I'll
Pile
bet
on.
he knew.
all of the like expected candidates and everything, they're not the guy. Like he was not on the short list.
Yeah.
So
It's,
Dark horse.
Wow.
Dark horse pick.
Me? I'm the Pope. Wow. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. We're just kind of wading through it, figuring it out with you this morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
We never thought much about power outages until we had one during the worst possible time. As a busy mom, there are plenty of challenges in a day. But with Paschal, power outages don't have to be one of them. A whole home generator installed by the pros at Paschal gave me back my peace of mind. The process was easy and understandable. Now, I don't have to worry about losing power when storms arrive. Get a free estimate today and keep the power on with a whole home generator from Paschal. Professional people, professional service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Why don't you just kind of style it up a little bit at the game? Let's get your drip going.
Hey, I got a lot more drip than you think.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You need to run that tape back for me because that didn't happen. Don't come at me with that crap.
Don't come at me.
Yeah.
Not up in here.
Yeah. You must have your shows mixed up. Like, that didn't happen here, pal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You can listen to us anywhere on the app, Chuck.
Anywhere.
Yeah, as long as it's working.
Yeah.
Hit that Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. We're streaming on YouTube and the World Wide Web.
YouTube, Twitter. Find us on
deal.
those. They'll never let you down.
We're on the radio. We tell our families, how proud they should be of us.
Yeah.
For making it this far.
Yeah.
And, it's Friday. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to a nice, relaxing, do-nothing weekend. Huh.
Liar.
How about you, Chuck?
Well, actually, that sounds pretty good. I mean, you've got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. I mean, you have it's a big time at your house. And
it's going to be this week. Parents are coming in this week.
Graduation, when is it? Thursday?
Call my mom today.
Thursday, Friday, next week?
Yeah.
Graduation next week?
Thursday.
Okay.
And then Ty's birthday is Friday.
Okay.
So big week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy.
You having the party at your house?
Well,
I mean, you having the big graduation party?
We had that last night as a kind of a group. They do it differently. I mean, I'm telling you, listen, life is out of control. I mean, you would have think they all got married.
It's a little different now.
You got
isn't
to back a truck up to take all the gifts home.
Oh, that's absurd.
It is absurd. I'm like, one of them looked like a body bag. I'm like,
Really?
What's in there? Did you get golf clubs? Who bought those for you? No, I'm serious. It's wild.
It must be a lot different because
When I was graduating,
Yeah.
that wasn't happening. We got to go to McDonald's, I think.
grandparents come over, you take
Yeah.
a picture, they give you $20. It's like,
exactly
when are you guys leaving so I can go to the party?
Right.
I mean, that
Yeah.
was my graduation
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it was. And I'm not complaining. It was great.
No. But we're on another level with gift giving. I think just in general in society.
I agree 100%.
Like, and I realize, like that's nice and you're fortunate enough to be able to do some things like that and whatever. But like the pressure now, I mean, we have unborn babies that have more gifts than some of us have got in our entire life.
You should have seen the stack of
You're not
presents for
wrong.
my 6-month-old at Christmas.
Right. They're not going to remember
was
any of it.
insane.
They're not
It was
going
insane.
to remember any of it. And you're over here, Dad, getting 2 hours of sleep every day.
Yeah.
You're like,
You
what
get
about
some-
what
here's
about
some
me?
Socks.
Can
I did get
it?
socks, a mug. These are all things that I actually got.
A mug.
Which they're great.
Edward's 6-month-old. It got 5 times the Christmas gifts that he
$20,000 worth of Christmas
it was
gifts.
more than
Edward
5
like
times.
Less than $100.
No.
It's so true.
I had a
though.
great Christmas.
But we don't think this through very well, do we?
No.
But we honestly, it's
Gross
you know,
over
yeah.
consumerism.
Gross over consumerism.
Disgusting.
over consumerism. That's a good
We've
one.
coined a new term.
Yeah, it's a good one. 877-377-6963.
Now I'm remembering all the shopping I have to do today because I have like a triple whammy this next week: Mother's Day, niece's birthday, sister-in-law's birthday. I've got a lot. I got a lot to get done today.
Bart,
I've been in that boat recently.
If I were
too,
you, I'd curl up in the corner and get on
man.
Amazon.
What are you worried about?
Walmart Plus.
I mean, you're actually like talking about going out and like shopping at a store.
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
Not Chuck and I. We just
No.
kind of hole up over in the corner
That's
and,
right.
and just start
Hide out.
making orders.
That's right.
Hey, there's another one. All right, what about him? Got that one done. Oh, that looks like a good book. What is it, Bart's birthday? There you go. Just bang, bang, bang.
That's
done.
right. That's how you do it. That's
Shopping.
how I shop.
You gotta go shopping.
Christmas
Where are you gonna
shopping's
go?
over.
Where are you gonna go shopping?
You're going to go to the mall?
Well, no,
people go to the mall?
I'll probably go to like.
People go to the
seriously.
mall. I told somebody I was at the mall a couple of months ago,
Yeah.
and they go, "We still have one of those."
Yeah. I mean, I like the mall. Personally, I like the
Well,
mall.
it's
People go to the one in Rogers. I don't know
Really?
about Fayetteville.
That's the
Yeah.
fancy mall, right?
yeah,
Pinnacle Hills is.
they're fine.
That's nice.
They're fine. I'm a mall guy like twice a year, and one of them's on vacation. Because there's some
Outlet
thing.
mall.
Yeah, you got an outlet
Gotta hit
mall.
the
Oh, those are
outlet
nice.
mall.
Or you're at Mall
Those
of
are
the
nice.
America, or there's some attraction.
Yeah.
I just like a good old-fashioned mall.
You like it Annie Ann's, don't you?
know,
Or
got-
Dippin' Dots.
Got
That's what you
Dillard's
like.
on one
You
end,
like
you
the
got
food-
Penny's on the other.
food court.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like a food court, some Sbarro, you know.
Yes, Sbarro.
I mean, that's the America I know.
Get an orange Julius.
Yeah,
Orange
exactly.
Julius.
Exactly.
That's another classic.
What happened to that world?
Yeah.
It still exists at the Fayetteville, Northwest
Yeah,
Arkansas.
you know what I love? You know, one of my just greatest memories in life is sitting in the food court at the Northwest Arkansas Mall, and then the piano player shows up.
Yeah.
I think he's still there.
You remember when they
He
used
actually hasn't left. He lives there.
Like, nothing like a
He lives there
nothing
now.
like a slice of Sbarro and a little piano music.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. At Christmas, you know, it was awesome.
Then you look at Sears has become Crunch Fitness.
It's like they're like a church.
Poor Sears.
Hey, it's like a church or a fitness center. That's basically what
Yeah.
malls are now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, that's basically what it boils
That's
down
a
to.
business, repurposing malls.
Bring back the Sears catalog.
Anyhow, it's Mother's Day, and we want to wish all of our
People get
moms
their cars worked on
happy
now that
Mother's
Sears is closed. What
Where do they get it all?
Where do they buy double
do they
knee?
go?
Where do they buy double knee jeans
Yeah,
now?
where-
Where do kids
Where
get
can-
their clothes?
Where can you get a crock pot, a lawnmower, some underwear, and your oil change all at the same place?
That's right.
Walmart.
Yeah, I guess so. Go to Walmart.
Hey, First Security Bank will remind you it's Mother's Day if you go in there. And, you know, that's not a bad idea for a Mother's Day gift. You can pick up a, Visa gift card at a First Security Bank. Convenient locations all over Arkansas with friendly Arkansans, professionals helping you bank better, whatever your banking needs may be, whatever your questions are. Maybe something new has come up. Or maybe it's just the ease and convenience of a checking account. First Security Bank, fsbank.com to bank online or learn more. First Security Bank, member FDIC, the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Oh, someone texted in. He goes by that I go by Spencer's to buy gag gifts. You remember those Spencer stores in the mall?
Spencer's gifts.
I'm going to go buy some fun Christmas gifts
yeah.
at Spencer's.
And then you're going to stop in Hot Topic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Our Mother's Day coverage is brought to you by Adam and Eve. Everybody's welcome to their opinion. That's just flat out wrong.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, PRECIDENT. We'd love to help.
Today's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here and there.
Just
Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
When Chuck and I started the show, he said we want to deal with smart people, smarter than us. It's going to take a while for them to show up because they've been dumbed down, but they'll show up.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Happy Mother's Day. Get ready. It's coming, whether you're ready or not.
Sunday means you got to get some shopping done today or tomorrow. We're going to have Ben Blakeman on a little bit later.
Yeah, he's going to help.
If you've put it off and now you don't know what to do, Ben's your bailout guy. He'll bail you out.
Everybody needs a bailout. Yeah. Chris Carter said everybody needs a fall guy. That was at the rookie Carter. Symposium.
Yeah, everybody needs a fall guy.
You got to have a fall guy in your crew. Did you see what Jay Johnson said about
really complimentary
about Dave Van Horn? Jay Johnson's the LSU baseball coach.
When I think about Arkansas, a couple things come to mind. Number one, they recruit better than everybody else in college baseball. Like, hands down, explosive players, talent. To me, they're kind of the standard of that.
Let's just stop there for a second.
Hello.
When have you ever heard that before?
That's high praise.
Arkansas recruits the best of anybody.
In all of the sport.
Right.
Hands down. All right, let's continue.
Recruiting. No matter who you end up with, you're always going to be in for a battle because they're always going to be able to match up. Number two, and I have a lot of respect for my peers in the league. With him, he's in his own way, he's one of the most competitive coaches that I know. Certainly respect that. I think he's hired really good assistant coaches. They have a really good home environment. At the end of the day, it comes down to who's on the field. And they always play defense. You know, the pitching staffs, whether it was Hagen Smith, we beat them in Frisco, and they had a guy named Blaine Knight at the time, right-handed pitcher who was really good. And I remember going like, wow, that's a pretty good win right there. We just beat Blaine Knight. Dave Van Horn, Tony Vitello was the third base coach, and Wes Johnson was the pitching coach. Little did I know 7 or 8 years ago, like all of that would be intertwined. But I remember feeling like, man, that's a great win right there. So just a lot of respect for the whole operation. Like, to me, like, again, they haven't won it the last game, but over 10 years, you'd have a hard time convincing me anybody's been any better than them.
Oh, wait a second. Can we hear that last part again? Parking has been validated again.
They haven't won it the last game, but over 10 years, you'd have a hard time convincing me anybody's been any better than them.
Who's been better the last decade in college baseball? Nobody. Blue blood, Chuck.
Well,
blue blood. One word, blue blood.
Yeah, and you got 2 blue bloods this weekend now. Arkansas and LSU tonight. That is a blue blood matchup. And LSU's got a pitcher tonight that is Jay Johnson made it sound like he's just got this poor boy roster over there. Let me tell you, he's got a pitcher that's going to throw tonight that is as good as anybody out there, and it's going to be a great series. It's been this way since we joined the league, I'll be honest. I get more fired up for the LSU series than any other series, more than Texas, more than Tennessee, more than all of them put together, just to be very honest with you. Playing LSU in baseball, if you were around back in the 90s, when you beat them now, it's really, really satisfying because it's hard to do.
Especially there.
It's hard to do.
They got a great environment.
They have a great environment, and it is hard to win down there. And if Arkansas wins this series, they will have really had to fight to do it.
Arkansas's 40-9, 17-7. LSU's 38-11 and 15-9. At Alex Box Stadium, first pitch is 6:30 on the SEC Network Plus. I don't know how this game isn't.
Well, the next two are on the regular network, right?
That's correct.
Tomorrow at 5:30, and then Sunday at 3. They don't start until 3 o'clock Sunday. But both of those games are on the network. And tonight it's on Plus.
How's it feel to have a baseball program that people talk like that about? If you're a Razorback fan, how's that feel?
Well, it feels good.
It's pretty great.
It feels good.
Right? How good? Or do you have to win the World Series?
Well, there are going to be people that say that, they're not going to feel as good as maybe other people think they should until they win the national championship. And that's just the reality. It's not fair, but it's the reality.
Well, let me ask you a fair question.
All right.
This is a very fair question.
All right.
If Arkansas doesn't win the national championship, are they mediocre?
Oh, did you play a little high school football?
What is the definition of mediocrity?
Oh gosh,
it
depends on who you ask.
What is the definition? So pick a sport: Arkansas football, basketball, baseball. what is mediocrity for the program?
Hey, you've got baseball people that'll tell you just getting to Omaha, or you got baseball fans that'll tell you getting to Omaha and not winning it. You're borderline mediocre right there.
Yeah. I mean, that is that does feel like a little bit of a narrative, which should tell you how spoiled you are.
But let me say this. I don't believe for a moment that that's the majority of people. There's always a small sliver, and too often we focus on the small sliver. But the overwhelming majority of people are supremely proud of their baseball program and wouldn't trade it for anything.
Well, it's such an enjoyable experience. I mean, it's relevant all year, and then you get to the postseason. And that's really what you're looking for in any season, is to be relevant during the year. Like the season lasts longer than the postseason, so you want to be relevant throughout the year. And then, can you make a postseason run? It's like 2 seasons. But congratulations again to Dave Van Horn and the Razorbacks for being right there in the thick of it all season long again, and a huge series this weekend.
Yeah, and you just want to keep playing well. Obviously, you want to win every game. I mean, you want to win every time you go out there. But there is a big picture here. And if you're going to get to where you ultimately want to go, you've got to play consistently well. You're playing a great team this weekend. If they play well, they may win. If Arkansas plays well, they may win. But what I would like to see, and I think we will see, is a series with 2 really good baseball teams playing one another. I know, because I know these guys. And Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they are geared up for this LSU series. They love Razorback baseball. They love the Razorbacks, period. But this is such a fun time of year. Weather's beginning to warm. People are gathering at the ballpark, and these guys are right there in the middle of it because they're local people. They're people that you see at ball games, at church, at the store, the places where we all go. And that's one of the things that attracted me to Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. What's kept me with them, to be very honest, is they're the best in the game. Their agents are better trained than anybody else. From the first time to the first time you need to sell, upgrading, downsizing, whatever your situation, they're ready to help you. They've got offices in Washington and Benton County. They're in Fort Smith, Branson. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978. You can log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
If you ain't first, you're last.
I'm amazed at the number of people who think they're smart.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, you can beat inflation and upgrade your ride at Chevy of Fayetteville. Right now, drive home a brand new Chevy Silverado, Blazer, Equinox EV, or the Tough 2500 with rates as low as 1.9% APR. Plus, take advantage of huge discounts and get top dollar for your trade-in. Go see Chris, Mark, and Denver at Chevy of Fayetteville, where the deals are big and the road ahead is even better. Chevy of Fayetteville. Let's drive. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got the experience and they've got your back.
So don't go it alone. Make the right call. Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Hey, it's moms, dads, and grad season at Splash Car Wash, and they're running a special offer just for listeners of the Chuck and Bo Show. Right now, buy one Best car wash and get 2 free. One for mom, one for dad, one for your favorite grad, or just keep one for yourself. We won't tell, because we know how good it feels to drive a clean car. Triple the shine with 3 car washes for only $27. Text Splash Arkansas to 22322 for the link to access this exclusive online offer.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yingling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yingling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yingling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
How was Saturday night for you after the game? What'd you do to celebrate?
The only few I thought maybe get a few cold beers in there, maybe help it out a little bit.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You're just going to have to go today. You're just going to have to. Today is going to be
what I
maybe
told myself.
one of those days you're just going to have to go, and you'll be glad you did.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Well, it's getting deep in here.
Yeah,
We're going to get
there's
into
some
it.
lying
The
going
coffee
on.
club storytelling. It's happening in the studio today.
The older I get, the better
Y'all
I was.
just never believe me.
Hey, I
Y'all
want to
just
tell you
never
about
believe me.
one of our new partners, Jet Aircraft. If you want to fly VIP, if you want to fly private, maybe you think you can't afford it, but if you get some buddies together, you might be surprised at what you can do in kind of getting a group effort to take a trip. Maybe it's to Omaha, to the College World Series, or Oklahoma City if the women make it to the College World Series. Jet Aircraft will fly you in a way that you've never been flown before. With Jet Aircraft, you literally drive your car right up to the plane. If you fly private, you know this. If you don't, here's the experience. They take care of everything. They'll valet your car. It'll be parked somewhere safe. When you get back, they bring it right back to you. You get off the plane, you get in your car, and you take off. By the way, I'll just let you know, it spoils you as a traveler. Fully loaded bar on board, custom catering. If you want it, plenty of luggage space for up to 9 people. Maybe you're not even in the Northwest Arkansas area, but you need to go somewhere. Hog fans looking to go somewhere from anywhere can get picked up by Jet Aircraft and taken to wherever they need to go. Maybe a round trip, buddy trip, golf trip. Split the cost up, as I mentioned. And also ask about the Jet Card memberships for even more perks wherever you're headed. Razorbacks, golf, a weekend getaway. This is how you want to do it on another level. JetNWA.com. That's Jet with 2 T's. JetNWA.com. The official PJ service of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Right.
When Chuck travels to Clarksville, he is no longer driving.
No, that's not true.
Whether it's Clarksville or Cincinnati, only
that would be
JetNWA.com.
I'd do it, but
for Chuck. We'll talk more about this in the coming weeks, but it's nothing compared to what Bart was telling us during the break. So I'm on Instagram. I'm just scrolling through Instagram. I don't even know why.
Mindless
And
scrolling.
I see a post from Fayetteville High School, and we missed it by a day. They had bowling tryouts yesterday. Bowling tryouts for Fayetteville High School. And I'm sure there's bowling tryouts going on all over the state right now. So maybe it's not too late for you if you're in high school and you want to bowl. But that prompted Chuck saying we should just roll down to the Ozark Lanes one morning, get some breakfast in that wonderful cafe attached to the bowling alley. People don't believe me on that.
Oh, it is
but it's a
good.
great breakfast.
It is.
And then we'll see who wins. And Bart, of course, chimes in. Well, I used to be pretty good.
Yeah.
This is the same.
I used to be
This is the
good.
same guy. The same guy.
I used to be good.
Who
I
once
have a
dunked.
trophy.
Wow.
Hang on.
This is not a lie. I have a trophy.
Wow.
Okay. Where is it?
And what's your high school?
It's buried in a closet.
And why is it
somewhere.
not posted behind you?
How come it's not on your desk
And,
over there?
it was high school?
No, this was before. This was like junior high.
Wow, you were the top
prodigy.
bowler in junior high?
He was a prodigy.
No, like
A Memphis prodigy.
He was an Earl Anthony
I got hot
prodigy.
one game.
Yeah. And what'd you score? What'd you roll?
It was
What'd
like
you
a
roll?
246.
Wow. Jeez. That's bowling league, man.
In 8th grade?
Yeah.
Were you in a league?
No.
Were you in like a bowling league?
No.
You were in a league of your own.
Yeah.
What?
Do you have your own
No, I
shoes?
came in second place. That's the worst part.
Oh, well, if you're not first, you're last. Settling for mediocrity at a young age.
Yeah, you were mediocre.
That'll,
You're last. That's exactly
right.
what you are.
that's,
Wow.
that-
now we
that-
get it.
Yeah, it's
Now
starting
we
to come
know.
together now.
You know, you can trace everyone's issues back to their childhood.
That's right.
And,
That's
and you're
formative
no
years.
different. You're no different. You're the only guy, honestly, you and the Dos Equis commercial guy are the only guys that I've ever met that have dunked once and bowled 246 once.
It was
What
fun.
else have you done once? 4.340?
No.
Did you run a 4.340?
Bench press.
No,
What's your highest bench
Did
press?
you run-
I did win a gold medal in the 4x1 relay, though.
Did you once ride the bull at Yeehog like 8 seconds once?
No, I've never gotten on that.
Yeah?
No.
A real
That's
bull.
That's not for
have
me.
you run with the bulls in
Pamplona?
Spain?
No, I'm not.
Pamplona,
I'm not
thank
an
you, Chuck.
insane person.
I think that's your
Imaleva,
next
Spain.
move. I think you need to run with the Bulls.
I don't
think you need to
I don't
run.
think I need to do
would
that.
be so awesome.
I mean, have you
Hey,
been?
Chuck, if you pay for the trip, I'll go.
Really?
Jet aircraft.
Jet aircraft.
If you
right
pay
here,
for the
baby.
trip, I'll
Hey,
go.
JetNWA.com to
together.
run with the bulls.
You'll run with the Bulls.
All right, we're going to raise some money for
We
Bart's
are.
trip.
We're gonna have a
Pamplona.
telethon.
Yeah. You're going to run with the bulls in Spain. We need to find your replacement before you take,
I was gonna
take
say,
off. But,
yeah.
you know, you could certainly
That
go
would
out
be
with a
awesome.
bang. It's the Chuck and Bo Show, Friday morning. Good morning. Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Ty Story, high school football coach and former college quarterback.
I love coaching, but it's a lot more fun after LASIK. Now when I'm coaching, I can focus on my players and not my eyes. After LASIK, my eyes are even better than before when I had glasses or wore contacts. The McDonald Eye Team was great. They put me at ease. I couldn't believe how well I was seeing the day after surgery. Good vision and good football go together. I'm really glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye Associates.
See your best with safe and affordable LASIK from McDonald Eye Associates. Register for your free consultation at mcdonaldeye.com.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
With rainy season here and summer just around the corner, make sure your gutters are ready. Hogcroft Gutters, locally owned with over 30 years of experience, does it all. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drain. Fully licensed and insured with a 20-year warranty on every job. Serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. And for a free inspection, visit hoggutters.com. That's hoggutters.com.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't know what on time is for you, but yeah, you got here before the show started.
Whatever. Hey, have you ever seen anyone that takes so much pride in being the first one here?
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I picked up a bag of donuts, the little chocolate donuts. Chuck ate the whole thing.
That's not true. That is not true.
He ate the entire bag.
That's not true.
And then,
in one setting.
And then went to have his eye procedure done in the afternoon. And they were going to put him under. And they said, have you eaten in the last 24 hours? And he said, only a whole bag of donuts.
And then on top of that, I ate a kolache when I was headed home.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Swings at the first pitch, up in the air to deep right field. It's gone! Reagan Kramer's second home run of the year is a grand slam off Carlin Pickens.
I mean, Bree Ellis walked it off the day before with a grand slam. And then Reagan Kramer, who's hit now 2 home runs all year, hits one in the 6th inning for the Razorback softball team. The Razorback softball team, no women's. The Razorback softball team.
Nice
Sterling,
job.
you hear me, Sterling?
Yeah. You don't have to say lady softball.
We responded. Razorback softball team, 6-1 winners to advance to the semifinals. They beat Tennessee. They beat Tennessee's ace. And this has already been a good run in Athens at the SEC softball tournament for the softball team.
I'm becoming a fan. I will admit, I am becoming a fan. I don't think I'm the only one. The bandwagon's getting big. I watched the game yesterday. I'm looking forward to watching them play Oklahoma today. And Oklahoma's kind of been the standard. They've been the standard. They are the standard. And so they swept Arkansas earlier this year. And at least I think they did. Was that a sweep, Bart, when Oklahoma won the series over Arkansas?
That was an opening series.
All right. So that's part of the 1-5 start.
Series.
Second series.
Part of the 1-5 start, though, in conference play. And so they're a lot better now.
It's my opening series.
Yeah.
It's the one
That's
I saw.
right.
It was the
That's the first one I
saw.
paid attention to.
Yeah. Hey, we've been hearing a lot about the general manager position in college football, and Jake Trotter's written about it at ESPN.com. The title of the headline of the article, GM position, the new gold rush for college football. And Jake's joining us on the Chuck and Bo Show now to discuss, because it's interesting where we're headed with the landscape of college football. And he's been talking to different teams, and we want to get some perspective. Jake, good morning. Happy Friday. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Good to be on with you guys. It's been a while.
We retired for a short time, like 5 years. And we came back, and then we moved to the mornings, and we're still getting our bearings. We used to be an afternoon, and here we are in the morning. So we're happy you adjusted your schedule to fit ours too. Just very broadly, what did you learn in talking to different teams about where we are with this position of a general manager in college football?
There was a time when it seemed like every college football program in the country had a massive capital project in the offing, because they had this money burning holes in their pockets, and the way to impress recruits was by building, the Taj Mahal of indoor facilities or locker rooms or you name it. And that's begun to change, in that the new gold rush in college sports, in college football in particular, is building the types of front offices that can evaluate talent, that can recruit talent, that can manage rosters with the type of efficiency you need, especially if you don't have unlimited resources. And so these college programs, they're hiring general managers. They're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for them, so in some cases millions of dollars for them. They're hiring people. They've started hiring people that are analytically inclined. They're building out these scouting staffs, because in the era of the NIL and the transfer portal, it's how you get players. And we're just at the ground floor of this. I mean, it's only going to balloon going forward, especially when the House settlement goes into place and you have a de facto salary up of $20.5 million to start out, but that'll certainly go up over time. and you've got to utilize your resources just like the NFL does. So are we going to spend the bulk of our money on pass rush, or are we going to go try to get the best quarterback in the country? And, we just saw in the case of Nico, you can do a great job recruiting someone and they can be happy, but as soon as they want more money and you don't have it, they're gone. And that's only going to happen more and more as college sports becomes, more and more of a junior NFL. So that's where the arms race is right now. And if you are not investing in your personnel staff, you are getting left behind because other people across the country are doing it.
Jake, I wonder if when you talk about the role of the general manager, you talked about evaluation, recruiting, things of that nature. I wonder, because I think a lot of people initially thought the general manager is going to be the guy that negotiates the deals. He's going to be the one that, allows the coach not to be the bad guy. But it sounds like a lot of places are following almost the NFL model, where the general manager is a football guy who evaluates film, who helps you recruit players, is involved in everything you do day to day. Is that the norm around college football? How are schools by and large approaching that?
Yeah, there is no norm. You go to school, it's different, right? And like everything else in college football, there's no practice. If you go to Texas Tech, and they're kind of on the cutting edge of this, they've given James Lyncher the autonomy, basically, be an NFL-like general manager, where he's the one saying, all right, we're going to go get this guy, or we're going to pay for this guy, or, we got to do everything we can to retain this player. And that's allowed Joey McGuire, to focus on coaching and schemes. And, the traditional CEO stuff that you have to do as a head coach, and fundraising and speaking and, running a team, all of that stuff. But, yeah, it really depends on school. We're getting closer and closer to a kind of a standardized NFL model. And one thing that people told me, and I think they're right, is we're going to start to see, your coach gets fired, but you know what? We like the front office. We like our general manager. We're not going to fire him. We're keeping him. Just like you see in the NFL, where, sometimes it's not cleaning house. Sometimes you fire the coaching staff, but you keep the front office, or vice versa. You might fire the front office and keep the coaching staff in case. So they're going to more not operate constantly, but they're going to be evaluated differently. So if you think you have good talent, but you're not being coached well, that's going to fall on the head coach. If you feel like you're being coached well, but you don't have the talent, that's going to fall on that GM and the front office. And as these GMs start to make coordinator-like money, which in many cases that's already happening, they're going to face the same pressure. Not
Jake, I'm going to put you on hold.
Yeah, we're having a little
fighting
issue
through
right there,
the signal issue.
I was
Can you
hanging
just
on every word
check?
because it's interesting.
Yeah, me too. And I thought maybe it would just clean itself up. Chuck, I'm interested in what's happening at Texas Tech.
I am too.
Like they have clearly made, and the reason is because Texas Tech's not a traditional power.
Oklahoma's made a big move in this area too.
They went and got Jim Nagy,
Right.
and Jim Nagy's job the last several years, and I believe he's got past NFL experience, but I've dealt with Jim Nagy before at the Senior Bowl, and his job as the director of the Senior Bowl was to go evaluate talent all year long of who would be a good candidate for the Senior Bowl. And obviously you're looking at juniors and maybe even prior to that, a sophomore as well. So college football players really well, because when they become a senior, you want to know who you're going to offer. Like who's coming to the Senior Bowl. And you're talking a bunch of NFL teams. Who do they want to see? That seems like great experience to evaluate a roster.
I think we've got Jake back too.
Yeah, Jake, we got you back. I want to dive in with you said Texas Tech is on the cutting edge of this. What has happened, if you can speak to it, at Texas Tech to make this move where they're not a traditional power, but they're obviously trying to use the new system to help them leverage some sort of advantage?
Yeah, I don't know where you guys but essentially, James Blanchard, who's the GM there, who Notre Dame tried to hire unsuccessfully this past offseason, he is in charge of the roster in a way that an NFL GM is. So he is negotiating with agents. He's deciding we're going after this player in the portal, or these are the recruits that we've targeted after our evaluations. And, they present it to Joey McGuire. He signs off on it. But really, he's not the one, McGuire, who is focused so much on personnel. He's focused on coaching. And he is deferred to Blanchard to go out and bring in the type of guys that give them the chance to win. And so if you're a player and you have an agent, the agent's not calling Joey McGuire. He's calling James Blanchard to negotiate his deal. And it doesn't work like that at every school. And by the way, Texas Tech had the #1 transfer portal class in the country this year, ahead of LSU, which, as you guys know, brought in a lot of really good players. So it's working for them. Now they have some money behind that's helped them. But, obviously go to the salary cap model, they're going to be ready to hit the ground running, I think, in a way that maybe other programs aren't. So, yeah, again, like as I said, it differs from school to school. You go to Stanford, Andrew Luck, the GM there, is in charge of hiring and firing the coach, which really is resembles an NFL model.
Yeah, he was taking snaps at practice the other day.
I saw that.
In spring practice, yeah.
Right.
And some of these guys are more like celebrity-like that, and others aren't as well known. They're just you
go to like Ron Rivera at Cal. I don't know that he has the type of day-to-day that somebody like Andrew Luck does. Again, it depends on the program, and we've seen in the case of like Maryland and Virginia where they're hiring GMs to oversee the entire athletic department. So you have a GM that's not just in charge of football, but basketball, and they're negotiating contracts for all athletes. So, again, it just depends on the school and the model that they've chosen. And as Blanchard told me, we don't know what the best blueprint is. We don't know what the best model is, but we're going to find out here in the not-too-distant future.
We know that, obviously, there's a huge investment in players. I wonder, were you able to gather how much it cost Texas Tech to make this investment in a football front office? Let's exclude what they're paying the players for a minute. Just how much did it cost them to put this in place?
Well, to keep Blanchard from going to Notre Dame, they paid him $1.58 million over 3 years. It's too early in the morning for me to divide that.
That's like an athletic director's salary at a major athletic department-ish.
Yeah, exactly. So he's making. He's not making as much as the head coach, but he's right there with just about anybody else in the football program. Lombardi at North Carolina is making $1.5 million, and it's not just per year, and it's not just what the GMs are making. They have staffs, and this is the other thing. You asked me what I learned. I was at the NFL Combine, and I covered the NFL for 5 years before moving back to college football last summer. And talking to some of the people I know in the NFL, I asked them, "Is this a thing that you guys are interested in, or you've heard from people in your departments who are interested in?" And really, the consensus was yes, for a couple of reasons. The money is better in college football right now than it is if you're in a front office in the NFL. Now, not if you're the general manager or maybe the assistant GM, but if you're director of player personnel, you might make more money as a GM at a college program.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, like you see, a lot of guys and gals in the NFL, you get to a certain point and you kind of hit the ceiling of what position you can ascend to, because there's only 32 of these jobs, and they don't come open that often, and you kind of have to have somebody get a job somewhere in order to to get a promotion at another place. So this is kind of a way for these people to continue to ascend in their careers. So the NFL is super interested in what's happening in college football, and we saw whether it was Nebraska, Pat Stewart, Florida, Nick Polk, Oklahoma with Jim Nagy, who, by the way, interviewed for the New York Jets GM job in December before taking the Oklahoma GM job in February. Seeing more and more Mike Martin going from the Lions to Notre Dame. You're going to see more and more of these NFL people take GM jobs at the college level.
He's Jake Trotter. You can read more of this story. There's a lot more to dig into.
Really interesting.
The GM position, the new gold rush for college football. It's the fastest growing industry within college football. And we're just scratching the surface here. Jake, thanks for making time for us. We'll do it again soon. Always appreciate you.
Great to talk to you guys. Take care.
Always. Jake Trotter, ESPN.com. We'll dig into this and come back and take some calls as well. We're brought to you in part by Flight by Yingling. Just like programs are trying to raise the bar with their recruiting and evaluating and player personnel departments with these GMs, Flight by Yingling's doing that for light beer. It tastes like a Yingling, but it's a light beer. 95 calories. Raise the bar. Try the next generation of light beer. It's Flight by Yingling, now available in skinny cans and the new twist-off 16-ounce aluminum bottle. Good for on-the-go tailgating, at the lake, whatever. Try a Flight by Yingling.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We never thought much about power outages until we had one during the worst possible time. As a busy mom, there are plenty of challenges in a day. But with Paschal, power outages don't have to be one of them. A whole home generator installed by the pros at Paschal gave me back my peace of mind. The process was easy and understandable. Now, I don't have to worry about losing power when storms arrive. Get a free estimate today and keep the power on with a whole home generator from Paschal. Professional people, professional service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
All right, fellas, listen up. Mother's Day is coming fast, and if you're still thinking flowers and a card are gonna cut it, think again. You wanna know what your lady really wants? A little time to feel pampered, refreshed, and maybe a little bit more fabulous. That's why I'm sending you to the spa at Swetnam Cosmetic Surgery. We're talking Botox to smooth the lines, luxury facials that'll make her glow, and top-notch treatments to help her look and feel amazing. Trust me, this is the gift that she actually wants. So don't wait. Call ahead to Swetnam Cosmetic Surgery at 479-966-4174. That's 479-966-4174. Grab a gift card or book her appointment today. The spa at SCS. Look good, feel even better. Again, call ahead at 479-966-4174 today and talk to our front desk coordinator who will make sure mom is feeling extra special this Mother's Day. Be the guy who gets it right.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
There's nothing like a college football Saturday, a few beers, your phone, and Twitter.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If your performance is like it is blocking, if your performance is in our secondary is like it in your real life, they're going to call you in the office, shut you down, look you in the eye, and tell you two simple words. Hit the road, you're fired.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
877-377-6963. Before we head back to the phones, let me talk to you for just a second about Sawyer's Sunrooms. Buzz, over at Sawyer's, voice of the Northside Grizzlies. We like Buzz. He's been in business since 1990, locally owned and operated. Now, they serve both the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, windows, and that includes decorative concrete from permit to completion. I mean, from start to finish, they're your guys. 100% financing available. No job's too small. No job is too large. Licensed and bonded. Insured on all sizes of projects. Lifetime products and warranties. Quality workmanship. Online, Sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Eddie's in Clarksville. Eddie, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call. I'd like to take an opportunity to wish all the mothers in the state happy Mother's Day and the whole nation. You know, let me say this, make those moments count. I lost my mother in 2010, but another take an opportunity to look to the heavens above on Mother's Day, and to remember her. It's a very special day for all the mothers in the state and make them feel appreciated and loved. But I want to get to,
All right, now we got that out of the way. Let's get down to business.
I'm aboard the ladies softball train. Let me say this. It's starting to roll. And just when I think I couldn't see anything better, what happened yesterday at Tennessee? Against Tennessee. I tell you what, that ladies softball team pretty daggum good. Defensively, they're one of the best teams I've seen. The lady goes up to the wall and robs the home run. And then another grand slam. I tell you what, I don't know what's going to happen against the Sooner, but I think Courtney Difel, I'm starting to see similarities when Coach Van Horn came to Arkansas, and they're going to be consistently good year in and year out. And I believe the ladies softball train is on the course. The whistle blowing to Oklahoma City to compete for a national championship. How great is that? But let's get to our baseball home train tonight. I woke up early, smelling, craving the recipe. And what is that recipe? What is the mojo? I call Hog Mojo. Well, it's the ingredients out on the playing field. And number one, it starts with our pitching. And it starts with Mr. Root tonight. We got a pretty good pitcher ourselves, and if that brings that, and Wood keeps progressing. Woo! Let me tell you something. If we just get the next two series, a couple more wins, we're going to be a top 8 national seed. How great is that? Let me say this, and how important is that? Important. And I'll tell you what, I'm starting to see things different in that this team is resilient. You talking about losing players. Well, Arkansas, we've lost a few players ourselves, but the players, they just step up. And you just seen us stepping up against Texas. And there's one other team besides Texas I like to beat, and that's the Tigers of Baton Rouge. And Tigers, I said this before, they're consistently hungry. Well, let's go feed them. A big bowl and that pitching mojo and hit mojo tonight. And if we do that, woo! We're well on our way to winning this series, winning game 1. Let me say this, too. I got a couple of songs. Poison had a song. What's great about the ladies softball train and the Hawk train? They both have conductors that are blowing the whistle on the Hawk train. And they're starting to roll, baby. And the one Poison, they had a song back in the day. They give our fan base something to believe in. Then I want to go to Cheap Trick. You just seen the best college baseball environment in the country last weekend at Baum Stadium on display nationwide. Let me say this. Let's go to Keep the Flame. And fan base, you're the flame, baby. You know what is the flame? Well, it's passion. It's the love you have for your team. Now, I got a big bow for love for the Razorback. Let me say this. You do, too. And so keep them flames burning and never take winning for granted on a high level because you never know when it comes and you never know when it goes. Whoa! Let's go feed the Tigers, baby.
Let's get him, Eddie.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
I just wanted to say that, all the mothers in the state deserve our love.
That was so funny.
Now let's get out of business.
That's right. Let's talk about the Hogs, baby.
Hey, getting down to business looks like this. WT Equipment, family-owned, locally operated equipment company, implement dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. Proud Hog fans, too, known for their top-notch service in the community. WT Equipment offering a full lineup of trusted brands like New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and the legendary Bobcat, of course. Whether it's for the farm, the job site, or your land at home, WT Equipment is what hard-working Arkansans need and depend on, including that wide selection of Bobcat machines built to handle any challenge. Expert staff, dependable equipment, hometown values. WT Equipment, the go-to choice across the natural state. Visit your nearest WT Equipment location and experience the service that works as hard as you can for you. By the way, you just go in there and just have a cup of coffee if you want. Just find some good conversation about what you're all in together with your equipment. WT, you see it from the bypass between Springdale and Johnson. Appreciate WT Equipment being a partner of the Chuck and Bo Show. Go in there and just do the poll. Hey, what did you get for Mother's Day? What did you get? What was your gift? Ben Blakeman will help us out with some ideas when we come back. You guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't know much about new items, really. I mean, I go to the store. I see lots of things that baffle me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you don't get a Mother's Day gift, you're going to need representation. So I would call Cadell Reynolds.
Personal injury lawyers. It'd be a good time to have one.
Exactly. Hey, if it is a personal injury issue or Social Security disability, maybe you're drowning in debt, you're fighting some credit card company, call the team that fights for our cans. It's Bill Reynolds, and the attorneys at Cadell Reynolds know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's car wrecks or denied disability claims, they've got your back. You don't have to face it alone. Cadell Reynolds, your go-to call, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com for a free consultation. Cadell Reynolds, you can make the right call. Fighting for Arkansans, they've got your back. We've got your back for Mother's Day.
Ben Blakeman, everybody.
Yeah, Ben Blakeman's going to help us out. I mean, this is a guy that I would call for restaurant recommendations, Mother's Day, a variety of things. Ben, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Chuck. Good morning, Bo. How are we today?
Well, we're good. I've been talking about Mother's Day all week, and I'm not sure I've done anything about it. But my mom will be here next week, so I'll probably just bring her up there. And
that's what I heard you mention her being in town for graduation yesterday, and I think that's a must.
By the way, are people coming in for what are the kinds of events that people come in and say, I need something for? Is graduation one of those events?
Graduation is absolutely one. So this week, yes, a big focus on Mother's Day, but high school graduation, college graduation, Mother's Day, just because it's been a blast.
Ben, I got a question for you, because I asked Ben one time. I was like, I don't even know how we got on the conversation, but it was about how you get dressed, how you pick what you're going to wear, how it can take time, and it's fresh. Because I don't ever feel like I can get dressed. So I always just want to be like Jay Leno and wear the same thing every day. You know what I mean? It's like making the lunch decision. It's just like if I just eat the same thing for lunch, I can quit thinking about this. But,
that's true.
But you told me your mom gave you some advice one time about that. But what's one or two things that you remember your mom giving you advice on that you've just kind of never forgotten?
Well, so one thing today, for even though this is on the radio, I still put on my suit and tie for you today. But as my mom once told me, that I did not look good in any colors except for white and blue. So I have on my blue suit with my white shirt and my blue tie today.
That's your go-to. You're like, I don't mess with other. You don't mess with other colors.
No.
Did she say it in a sweet way, like, "Oh, honey, you look just you only look good in this"?
She's a very sweet woman, but I can't repeat exactly how she said it to me.
Don't wear that.
Obviously, it made an impression, though.
Right.
It obviously made an impression.
Yeah. To this day, it's tough for me for Razorback games, but we'll make. I got a couple red hats. It's a good thing our buddies at Walker Brothers with the curly tail, they've got some blue with some hog.
That's true.
So it works.
Yeah.
It works.
That's true.
All right, Ben, let me ask you. A guy walks in today. Hey, Ben, I've not done anything for Mother's Day yet. What are you going to do to help him?
So today we've even got an extra opportunity. There's this woman from Jackson Hole. Her company is the Sing Hat Company. So not only can we get you jewelry today, but we can also get you a custom hat made still in time for Mother's Day, which is wild. And then for those guys that really like to be last second, like maybe one or both of you coming in tomorrow, not only do we have jewelry tomorrow, but we also have complimentary flower bouquets and Mother's Day gift cards. So even if you just come in, you already got a gift. You didn't even give us anything.
You're so extra. I love it. That's so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing.
Ben will be thoughtful for you.
You go in, and we're just talking like guys here. Yeah, you need I need somebody to be thoughtful
That's
for
right.
me. Graduation gifts, Bart's watch. Thank you, Ben. I need
Can I ask, Art wearing that today?
Oh, no, that's special occasions, man.
Yeah, it's not a big enough day for that.
What are special? Will you wear it on Mother's Day?
I will wear it on Mother's Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ben said it's for every day.
Yeah.
It's for every day. But he's got to count his calories, Ben. He's got his calorie burner Apple Watch on.
Yeah, one on each wrist.
That's right. I've seen that.
Dual wield.
That's like it's normal now.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
normal
totally
now.
normal now.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to have a nice watch on and your calorie counter. Everybody knows what's going on. They get it. You got a little style, but you got some work to do. Everybody
a little functionality. Yeah, exactly.
But it is true. Like, this is a frustration when you're buying a gift when you got to go to multiple places. So they're just,
Right, and that's why you only got to come to one. And we make it easy. You're not supposed to come in knowing what you're doing. That's our job. And so that's what our team's ready for, and that's what we accomplish every day.
that's a guy's kind of
Perfect.
place.
It's perfect.
That is a guy's
Ben,
kind
I have no idea what to do.
And by the way,
Will you do it for me?
Sit right here at the cafe bar. Have a
I'm gonna have a drink while you're doing
Prosecco
that.
or a scotch or a
I'm
latte.
going to have a drink while you're doing it.
And just bring it over to me, and let's just tell me, what we can do here. What's our budget?
That's what,
I love it.
My go-to is the cappuccino, but I do love pouring our Blakeman's Prosecco during the day, too. So whatever anybody wants.
He didn't say he loves drinking one during the day. He said he loves pouring one for
Pouring.
you. Yeah, pouring
This is key.
for
Yeah,
you.
it's all of it. The hospitality and service. That's exactly it.
Ben, how you feeling as a Razorback fan right now?
Feeling really good. I mean, when the baseball team's hot, there's nobody better. And unfortunately and unfortunately, with baseball, it's streaky. So as we get into this time of year, the pressure mounts. But I feel like we're in a good position. And then just kind of keeping up with the chatter around town with football and basketball, things are sounding more positive than they have in previous springs, anyways. So that's a nice way to be getting into summer.
Yeah, it's somebody told me yesterday that they said, or they asked, does it seem like baseball season has been shorter this year, like gone by faster than it did last year? And I said, well, yeah, but that's because the basketball team didn't make the NCAA tournament last year. Mm-hmm. And so we all had to go to baseball to have anything to pay attention to a lot earlier in the year. You went right off that Sweet 16 run and, could have gone to the Elite Eight. You're right there into a baseball team that was ranked number one in the country and is still in that conversation after the sweep of Texas. It's going to be a fun weekend. The softball teams in the semifinals this afternoon.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
In Georgia. So it's a good time to be it's a good time right now for Razorback. There's a lot of it's the fun time of the year. Spring, summer's coming, and we got people graduating, and we got Mother's Day. By the way, can we get started now on Father's Day? Can we just get started on this forgotten holiday?
Funny,
Is that in June?
Hey, so funny you mentioned that, because we just this week, we haven't even announced it yet, but we just launched the Omega watch brand.
Okay.
And it is right on time for Mother's Day, graduation, but also top of mind Father's Day.
There you go.
So it's our third brand now that's going to be key and a great opportunity for Father's Day. So now, don't go ahead. This weekend is all about mom. Celebrate mom. Don't be talking about your Father's Day gift. However, know that we got you covered.
The move is, kids, earmuffs. The move is you go to Blakeman's, you get your own watch for Father's Day, and pick up that bouquet and a nice Mother's Day card.
There you go.
That's the move. And then you put the card in the nice purple bag. And you're like, I was so thoughtful. And by the way, you don't even have to worry about me on Father's Day. I took care of that too.
Yeah.
That is the definite move.
Hey, Chuck, I got an idea.
All right.
How about you go see our good friends Nick and Carrie at Herman's this afternoon? I'll take a Spanish omelet or a cheeseburger to go. You bring that up, then I'm going to get you hooked up with the flowers, the card, and then we'll look for your watch too.
Well, sounds like quite a day.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Exactly.
Have a happy Mother's Day weekend. Enjoy the festivities.
Thank you, y'all too.
I know it'll be an experience, a lot of fun going into Blakeman's this weekend. And Ben, we'll catch up soon. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Celebrate mom and go Hogs.
Absolutely. Ben Blakeman with us. Ben's kind of our representation to the outside world.
Yeah,
he's sort of like our correspondent. Like that will be fun though this weekend. That is a good idea.
In all seriousness,
he wants the Spanish
Ben,
omelet.
You can walk in because I've done it and say I don't know what to do. And seriously, I don't know what to do.
If you'll notice, all of our advertising partners are those people. Weichert, Pascal,
Yeah,
the
I don't know
Fayetteville
what to
Auto
do.
Park.
Yeah.
Like you just go, Macadoodles.
Yeah.
I don't have any idea what to do.
Well, you do it for me.
We're having a get-together.
Would you mind?
What are we doing here? It's 7:45. Good morning. Kids, there's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, Precedent. We'd love to help.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
Hey, it's moms, dads, and grad season at Splash Car Wash, and they're running a special offer just for listeners of the Chuck and Bo Show. Right now, buy one Best car wash and get two free. One for mom, one for dad, one for your favorite grad, or just keep one for yourself. We won't tell, because we know how good it feels to drive a clean car. Triple the shine with 3 car washes for only $27. Text Splash Arkansas to 22322 for the link to access this exclusive online offer.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes...
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You see and hear
Tell me
things others
something I don't
see
know.
and hear.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just part of the appeal, right?
Listen.
There.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, 877-377-6963. What to Watch is brought to you by Macadoodles, just north of the state line in Bentonville or in Bella Vista. Then you can find Guess Who in Bentonville. Also a location that gives you all the same customer service and assortment and wine tasting open to close that you get at the Macadoodles just north of Bella Vista. If you're planning a get-together, you're watching something big, Macadoodles is your go-to spot. You want to try something different? They've got the best assortment of beer, wine, craft beer, and spirits that you're going to find anywhere. And don't forget, every Wednesday, it's 15% off every bottle of wine in the store for Wine Down Wednesday. What are we watching? We got softball, we got baseball, we got NBA playoffs.
Yeah. So
we got a Bago championship somewhere.
Maybe I'm not familiar with.
What's on the Ocho this weekend?
Who can say? The Razorback softball team SEC tournament semifinals against Oklahoma, the top seed in that event. That's at 3 p.m. on ESPN2 today, not the SEC network, ESPN2. Baseball's at LSU. That's at 6:30 on the SEC Network Plus.
I'm getting fired up.
So get your ESPN app out and go find
excited.
that. And then if you're looking for some NBA playoff action, Cavs and Pacers, that's at 6:30 on ESPN. Pacers lead that series 2-0. And then the Thunder and the Nuggets, that series tied 1-1. That's at 9 o'clock on ESPN.
My phone's going on D&D at 3 o'clock today.
I am too.
And it will remain there.
I'm going to watch both of them. Now, you forgot the Knicks tomorrow at 2:30.
And the New York Knicks host the Boston Celtics
That's
at the world's most famous arena.
Game
Tomorrow
3.
afternoon, the Knicks lead the series 2-0.
Good course correction.
Some 3 Villanova guys on the Knicks, and they just got the Pope. Yeah. So
it's divine.
Good
it's going to be.
Good time to
divine intervention.
Rod has been holding for like the entire show.
Really
Rod,
is.
I just want to apologize on behalf of Edward, who should have gotten to you earlier. Thank you. Hey, Rod, good morning. It's not his fault. I'm just
no problem.
He needs to be blamed.
I don't
it's
have
my fault.
I don't have the mojo like Edward does. So it's a lot,
Eddie moved himself ahead with his Hog Mojo Bowl.
Big bowl.
Yeah, it is ladies softball team, by the way, and until they get a trans man there, it's the ladies softball team. But
wow,
a lot calmer, a lot flatter. I'm like Mr. Irrelevant. It's no problem.
Okay.
Heck, I've been everywhere and done nothing. T-Wolves are looking good. They took it to the Golden State Warriors yesterday.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed.
Even at a game apiece.
Yeah. But wherever you're at,
what are we doing?
That moment's never going to come again. We've got Dave Van Horn. We've got John Calipari. I mean, I don't suppose they could recruit Nick Saban for a little while. But, hey, nobody's Nick but Nick.
He's got to save college football. He's got to save the whole sport. He can't just save us. He's got to save everybody.
Yeah, he's got work
walk
to do.
in and make that little religious cross sign, and everything's going to be all right. Oh, Nick, take care of it. He always seems to know the right thing to say and do. Let's hope this is one of them, because I wouldn't want to be in his position right now. It's a mess. This is the worst I've ever seen, which is saying a lot in my time, but.
Well, I want to get into this next hour.
Yeah, we're going to get into.
I want to get
back to some of what Jake was talking about earlier,
and what the beefs that Rod and others have with college football. Like, I'm just reading a text about how I'm so disconnected from college sports right now. Are you disconnected or are you disgusted? There's a difference. Like, are you done? Thanks for the call, Rod, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend and celebrate whatever mom is in your life.
True. The whole deal.
Whether it's a wife or your mom or whomever. All your dreams come true. This is a live show.
Yeah.
And live things happen on the show.
Yeah, they do.
And people react.
Somebody's getting put in timeout.
To those things.
All I know is when your mom comes out,
somebody's getting put in timeout.
I better start listening.
I don't know why Bart just disappeared into another room and took a phone call. Oh, is that the FCC? It's almost 8 o'clock on Friday. Good morning.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got the experience and they've got your back.
So don't go it alone. Make the right call. Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Chevy of Fayetteville is kicking off end-of-the-year savings this May. Drive home a new 2025 Chevy Silverado starting at just $34,000. Get up to $6,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Tahoe or Colorado. And up to $13,000 off a new 2025 Crew Cab Silverado. Don't miss these huge savings. Only at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
Why don't you just kind of style it up a little bit at the game? Let's get your drip going.
Hey, I got a lot more drip than you think.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
It's amazing how many people will follow you just to tell you how terrible you are. And I was like, well, why are you following me? Think that's Twitter. Think about
I know
that.
it is.
Think about that.
I feel smarter not being on.
Think about following people that you don't enjoy following.
Now, look, I like
People
stirring
are
stuff
looking
up
for
as
a-
much as anyone. I mean, you guys know that. But some of this stuff on Twitter, it's like, you people are just looking for a fight. Bo could say the sky's blue. Somebody that doesn't like Bo, by God, that's a black sky.
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Disconnect. The disconnect with me and college sports. I keep hearing about this. We had Jake Trotter on. We talked to him about this new rush on hiring general managers, which essentially become an athletic director for just football. Like they hire and fire the coach for football. They make personnel decisions and financial decisions as it relates to football. And there's a lot to get into here. Football's essentially become like, in some ways, its own department, separate from the athletic department. At least that's how some athletic departments are viewing it. But because these new GMs are commanding salaries, in the $1.5 million range, which is what we were talking to Jake Trotter about at ESPN.com, we began getting these texts again. And I keep hearing this come up over and over and over again. With salaries that he was talking about, it just is one more reason I feel I'm even further disconnected from college sports. Are you disconnected or are you disgusted? Disconnected implies that you're losing interest in your team. You don't want to watch anymore. Or am I missing a different part of
Well, you're
what
not disconnected if you're texting about a football program. You're not disconnected. You may be upset, but you're not disconnected.
What are people upset about? What are you upset about? And I'll go one more on this, and it's a little bit of a different topic. And I brought it up a week or two ago. What do fans think the University of Arkansas or any other program that they're a fan of? What do they think they're not on the same page about? Like we got into this, mediocrity conversation yesterday. Like what is mediocrity? Like how do you define what settling for mediocrity would be? Like it's a word that people throw around without having a lot of conversation to determine how you define it. But we continue to act like college athletics has gone to hell in a handbasket. We're mad as hell. We don't want to take it anymore. But we're all showing up to watch all the games. Like the game's on, we're watching. So what are we upset about? And the other part of this is, what are you mad at your team about? What are we on separate pages about with our teams? Whether you're a Razorback fan or, the fan of some other program. Do you think they don't care as much as you do? Is that what it is? Like, I just kind of want to understand, like, everybody's dealing with the same information. Like these big contracts and NIL dollars and GMs being hired now. What is it that you're upset about? Tell me. Let's discuss.
This is what I keep hearing from people, from friends, from people I talk to. I'm tired of feeling like I'm getting shaken down for more and more money, and we still suck at football.
But if you're tired of that,
do we suck at football?
Oh, here we go.
I mean, seriously, do we? I know that it's not championship level. I know people want to win the championship. But again, it goes back to this: if you're not winning a championship, you're not any good. Now,
I think it's. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
First, you're last.
I'm done.
Talladega Nights.
I think it is just a compounding effect of everything that's happened since Petrino went into the ditch on his motorcycle. Like name me the great Razorback football seasons since that happened.
Well,
there's been one 9-win season in all that time, and there's been a lot of really bad seasons. The 3 winless seasons in SEC play that Arkansas has have all happened since then, and it's all still recent memory.
And the guy that was responsible for 1 or 2 of them is now like up for Big Ten Coach of the Year.
One of them, yeah, is Bielema's first
one
year.
of them,
yeah.
Well, the other guy went to coach high school again.
Yeah, and that didn't work out.
People, I got to say one thing. There's not been any like those great 2 years under Petrino. We had 2 great years under Petrino. You say there's not been anything like that since. When was it like that before?
Yeah. Well,
when was it like that before?
When did you have 20 kids in state that were that good?
Yeah, it's
sure.
You've got to have some historical perspective. Most of the people, when I call them the mediocrity crowd. Most of those people, the high water mark is the Bobby Petrino era. Nothing happened before them, and nothing worth a damn's happened since. That's the age group right there. They don't have historical perspective on our show. Hang on just a second.
Yeah.
Hang on just a second. When people talk about Pittman and his mediocre record, go back and take a look at the actual records of our coaches. Go back and take a look at the actual conference, not this image that you've conjured up in your mind, that every year was like Petrino's 2 best years, and that if we just fire this guy, we'd get back to where we were before. Guys, that was a 2-year, it was 2 great years, but you got to go back a long time before that to find 2 years that good. You got to go back to the part of the Houston Nutt era. Go back and find a 2-year period before that. You got to go back to Hatfield. And my point is that when you really look, when you really put it under a microscope, what's going on right now is not that much different than it's been for many, many, many years in Razorback football. We get frozen in those 2 or 3 year periods, and we think it's going to be like this forever because it was like this before, and it's not.
Help me understand this. I've tried to explain it because I think I understand it, but I haven't done a good enough job. So maybe you guys can all help me understand this. So why is it when you say what you just said that it somehow means to somebody's ears that you're making excuses and you're the reason, and that attitude right there is the reason that Arkansas isn't better and winning more games?
We get hung up on arguments like, do we suck or do we not suck? Are we a blue blood or are we not a blue blood? We get hung up on the dumbest things. I mean, we really do. I just it gets me when people start talking about this, because I'm old enough to know the history of the program, and no one's saying if you go 6-6, you should be saying, okay, that's as good as we can do. No one's saying that. But people act like if you're not firing everybody, that you're accepting mediocrity, and that is not true. People talk about how hard it is to be a Razorback fan. We're good at pretty much everything, and we were 6-6 in football. Now, or 7-6 after the bowl game. That is not the definition of a beleaguered fan base. I'm sorry, it's not. When you're good at everything, and you go 7-6 in football, you are not a beleaguered fan. Now, here's where I think the disconnect comes in. This is where the disconnect comes in for me, if I can just speak for myself. I'm interested to see what happens at Texas Tech. Because when I look at, like, for example, our basketball program, we were 16-17, must-leaves. What happens? Well, there's a big infusion of cash to bring John Calipari in. That's what changed. The budget changed. The budget's not changed necessarily like that in football.
No.
It's changed at a place like Texas Tech. You know, they've got somebody that's come in and literally thrown money
and Ole Miss
at their football program.
perhaps.
But to get back to this general manager thing, I'm going to be anxious to see what happens out there and some other places, Oklahoma, because they have hired football general managers, guys who will evaluate, guys who will help recruit, a la an NFL general manager. These are the guys that in pro settings make a lot of the decisions about who the coaches are actually going to coach. That is the model that a place like Texas Tech and Oklahoma are moving towards. We have a different model. I'm not saying either one's right or wrong, but I'm going to be interested to see which one has the most success. Texas Tech's throwing all of West Texas at that program. I mean, every bit of oil money that guy's made, he's throwing at that athletic program. Are they going to win the national championship in football? I don't know, but I'm anxious to find out. You know, I'm anxious to see where they stand in the pecking order, because here's what I hear, and this is where the disconnect comes in, is that you're talking about paying a general manager $1.5 million to run your football program. Well, he's going to have assistants. He's going to have people there help him. He can't do everything by himself. So you look at what you're investing. You're talking about we got to spend $20 million on players, all right? By the time
and that's not just football.
Yeah. By the time you pay your coaching staff, your head coach, all your assistants, your 2-year deals, football staff, director of ops, then you throw in a GM and an assistant GM and an assistant to the assistant. And all of a sudden, you've almost doubled that $20 million. And it is a tremendous financial investment to do this at a time where you're trying to figure out how you're going to pay $20 million to your student athletes. I don't know where the money's going to come from. I look at a place like Texas Tech, and it's coming from one guy. You know, you look at our basketball program. It's coming from a small group of people. So that's what's changed out there. Now, when you say, well, they're not accepting mediocrity, well, you've not done anything. You personally have not done one single thing. Some guy with a whole bunch of money has decided to contribute. That's what's happened. That's the difference. And I'm anxious to see what happens at these places, because they have made a football financial commitment, not just an athletic department commitment. They made a football commitment. And
just like
we'll
Arkansas made a basketball commitment.
Very similar to what Arkansas has made in basketball. They've made it in football. I'm anxious to see if it works.
And football is a different animal. And I wonder how good Texas Tech, for example, even though they're going all in on football, how good will they be at anything else? And does anybody care? I mean, Arkansas is pretty good at a lot of things right now.
Yeah, people get hung up on football, right?
No, it's the conversation.
Because, I mean, look, the stadium seats 72, 74, however many thousand people. Like, it's the thing, right? And so when you feel like you're not good at something that is supposed to be the premier event in the state, in our state, like, that feeling just sucks, right? Like, look, under Nutt and Petrino, Arkansas had 9 seasons of 8 or more wins in 14 years. In the 13 years since, there have been 2.
And what were the 13 years before?
That's why people feel bad. That's why Razorback fans feel bad right there. It's because, like, we don't even get a taste of that anymore. We don't get that. And I get it. Like, I understand the frustration.
I'm right there with you.
It's supposed to be the premier event in the state.
I'm right there with you.
And you feel like you're not getting a return on your investment.
But the solution, I mean, for a lot of people, if you're not firing the AD, if you're not firing the coach, if you're not firing everybody, well, you're accepting what's going on. No, that's not true.
Correct.
That's not true at all. My God, we fired people left and right for years and years and years around here. We're still in the same spot.
Yeah. The reality is that, like, the Razorback athletic department as a whole is having a lot of really great moments. It's just that one.
Well, let me ask you a question.
One big thing.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure.
So what happened?
So it's like to the football program?
Yeah. Like, so we're acting like that the football program is a hot mess. That's what we're acting like.
Yeah.
That when people say they're accepting mediocrity, they're acting like the football program is a hot mess. So then tell me what happened.
I think
money,
and one really disastrous hire, for lack of a better way to put it. Like the Chad Morris hire.
Hard pause. Why did that happen? I'm gonna answer it.
Well, I mean,
they ran off the athletic director in Bielema. Okay, tired of Jeff Long, tired of Bielema. Okay, Jeff Long is wherever you want to go with that. I'm not here to take any side. I'm just saying you did that, and you went through a disaster period that you still haven't recovered from.
That's right.
Well, you hired a football coach without an athletic director.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you hired a football coach without an AD. Let's start there.
You had people
who never played college football.
You had people involved in decision-making processes who should not have been involved in decision-making processes.
Okay,
and that got Arkansas football specifically to where it is right now.
So let me tell you what I notice about programs who are traditional winners. Okay, so they have that going for them, and it's not just what I'm about to say. But when you go to these powerhouse football programs, you don't usually find a lot of the president, the governor, whoever in politics, and all these people on opposite pages.
Correct.
And when you talk about Arkansas, sometimes we just can't get out of our own way there. And that was a case with the whole Jeff Long and the Chad Morris, and we were in complete disarray. And you have, just like Bielema couldn't recover from a couple of bad hires.
Yeah.
And then we're having trouble recovering from a couple of bad years. And that's not to say we'd be a 10-win program. But wherever you are, if you're a 7-8 win on average program based on history, you haven't recovered from something we did to ourselves. We got to hit a break. Chuck and Bo Show. Back in a minute. You guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
With rainy season here and summer just around the corner, make sure your gutters are ready. Hogcroft Gutters, locally owned with over 30 years of experience, does it all. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drain. Fully licensed and insured with a 20-year warranty on every job. Serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. And for a free inspection, visit hoggutters.com. That's hoggutters.com.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
We never thought much about power outages until we had one during the worst possible time. As a busy mom, there are plenty of challenges in a day. But with Paschal, power outages don't have to be one of them. A whole home generator installed by the pros at Paschal gave me back my peace of mind. The process was easy and understandable. Now, I don't have to worry about losing power when storms arrive. Get a free estimate today and keep the power on with a whole home generator from Paschal. Professional people, professional service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
You know, I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
one of the great non-marriage times of my life, I'll tell you that. To meet Chuck Berry, the only thing that's even close to is meeting Bo.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it is supposed to really get warm next week. I mean, like 80s. It's going to feel like summertime.
I feel like it's kind of warmed up.
It
for
has
the most
warmed
part
up
already.
Yeah. Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric is, that's our go-to, and we'd certainly recommend them to you as well. Spring is here. It's time to get your AC ready for the summer. Why pay for a tune-up when you can get it for free? When you switch your maintenance plan to Pascal, you get that free spring AC tune-up. Easy for me to say. Plus, you get a lot of
fring.
Yeah, fring.
It's fring. It's a fring.
Yeah,
it's
that's
free
right.
fring.
That's
spring.
right. Free spring AC tune-up. And you know, the one thing about Pascal is they give you peace of mind all year long, whether it's summer, whether it's your heater in the winter. They're going to make sure it's up and running. They're going to do what I call preventative maintenance. They call it that too, I guess. Whole home savings on plumbing and electrical as well. So don't wait. Switch and save with Pascal. Sign up today at gopascal.com.
I was just thinking of Chuck on the weekend. What are you doing this weekend? Some preventative maintenance around the house.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little preventative maintenance.
Change the coffee filter. Do you have the Keurig? No, you have the pot, don't you?
I have the Keurig pot combo.
Yeah. So that Keurig that has the filter, the thing that goes down the middle of where you pour the water in. Yeah. I don't know about you, but like once that thing gets bad, I throw it out. I'm like, why do I need that? I've got filtered water.
Yeah, I'm
not buying another filter to put in my Keurig.
Yeah, I'm not big on that.
Okay,
either.
just making sure I wasn't. By the way, Shabuzi's 30 today.
Oh yeah.
How many? You know any Shabuzi songs, Chuck?
I didn't even know what Shabuzi is.
Good. Good news. It's country.
Billy Joel's 76.
Yeah, you know Billy Joel. Married to Christy Brinkley for a long time.
He was.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Christy Brinkley was on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, she's a star.
Yeah. That's Shabuzi right here. This is Shabuzi for you.
Never heard it.
Yeah. Well, you're about to. Does that sound like country? A little bit different. So you might like that.
I don't think it's making an impact on
Chuck, you're a Cowboys fan. He performed halftime of the Thanksgiving game this past
Cowboys
year.
win that day?
Probably not, but I don't remember.
Probably not. Cecil's in Fort Smith.
That's some
Cecil.
mighty fine music.
Chuck
right
and
there.
Bo Show, Friday prior to Mother's Day. Good morning.
Good morning, fellas. I was just listening in as always, and Chuck, yeah.
You don't sound too happy about it.
No. I'm good. No, I just wanted to say about the University of Arkansas for the athletic, every athletic, whatever we got up there, sports, all sports. I've been around too. Chuck a little older than me though, but I've been to a lot of games, a lot of Southwest Conference games, and I've walked out with my head up more than my head down. And I haven't Googled it. I have to leave that up to boy in the situation room, but I know for a fact because I've been there and done it, for us watching the games and stuff and going, that Arkansas is one of the only schools leveled out in every sport. There's a lot of schools that's just like one-dimensional. Some is two-dimensional, but we way past that. So, and I recommend any youngster to go to the University of Arkansas and get their degree. That's where my kids are going. But I just wanted to share that.
Yeah,
And
okay.
y'all have a blessed day.
Hey, have a great
And,
weekend.
Yeah, and my birthday's coming up on the 13th, so happy birthday to me.
Hold on.
One more year.
Put it in the show notes, Bart. Put it in the show notes.
The 13th.
By the way, there's no shame in announcing your birthday on the Chuck and Bo Show. Don't be one of these people that think you got to keep it to yourself. You know you want people to know. You're only fighting yourself by not telling them. So just share it. Cecil's going to be one of our first callers
Tuesday.
We will announce his birthday on the Chuck and Bo. Bart, put it in there. Lock it in.
It's written down.
Lock it in. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, and get some sports book knowledge from Oaklawn after we tell you about Splash. Right now at Splash, you can go get one membership and like the whole family can get their car washed. Text Splash Arkansas to 22322 to learn more. It's moms, dads, and grad season at Splash Car Wash. Arkansas people serving Arkansans since 1989, running a special offer for listeners to the Chuck and Bo Show. You buy one best wash and get 2 free. One for mom, Mother's Day, one for dad, one for your favorite grad. Triple shine, 3 car washes for only $27 a month. Text Splash Arkansas to 22322 for the link to access the exclusive online offer. Splash Car Wash. We're a little bit over our head here, but we're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's moms, dads, and grad season at Splash Car Wash, and they're running a special offer just for listeners of the Chuck and Bo Show. Right now, buy one best car wash and get 2 free. One for mom, one for dad, one for your favorite grad, or just keep one for yourself. We won't tell, because we know how good it feels to drive a clean car. Triple the shine with 3 car washes for only $27. Text Splash Arkansas to 22322 for the link to access this exclusive online offer.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
There's nothing we enjoy saying more than I told you so.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I was just thinking this morning on the drive in, boy, it's going to be nice to see Chuck. And I don't usually think that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Jordan Hudson.
Oh, we're back. Jordan Hudson's apparently been banned from the North Carolina football facility.
Wow.
That's a report from Pablo Torres, longtime ESPN
Well, he
reporter.
appeared without her at a book event. I'm reading that story now.
Odds. Maybe Zach Gillum can tell us the odds that Jordan Hudson will be back in the North Carolina football building this year. I kid, but we are bringing in the director of betting at Oaklawn Sports, Zach Gillum. Zach, happy Friday to you. We got Arkansas and LSU, big weekend series. After sweeping Texas last weekend, how are we looking on the odds tonight?
Yeah, this is going to be a wonderful one. It's good to talk to you guys. Wrapped up a wonderful racing season this last week, but now diving deep into this baseball. In Arkansas, minus 110 tonight. They're a slight dog, LSU at minus 118. But Arkansas is still your favorite to win it all. They are at plus 400 to win the College World Series.
Oh, that just keeps kind of going down. I mean, it was up around, it was higher than 700 at one point. Then like last week, I think it was around 500, and now it's plus 400. By the way, Zach, I don't know if I should have started this way. I don't know if you know or if you've heard the news. Bart hit the trifecta of the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's some great picking there.
Well, Bart's a picker. He is a good picker. Hey, Zach, what's the over-under on runs tonight? You got a big pitching matchup tonight.
Yeah, and that has not quite hit the board yet.
Okay,
We got the
all
money
right.
line up quick. I would
Okay.
expect that total to come up in the next few hours. But
Okay,
yeah, keep your
all
eye
right.
on that one. I know last week for the Texas series, I mean, Arkansas was, almost handling those totals on their own.
What about, do you have a favorite tonight yet?
Yeah,
Arkansas.
the favorite is going to be LSU as of right now. They're just a slight favorite in this one, but it's almost a pick 'em on the money line. I mean, it's minus 110 on the Arkansas side, minus 118 on the LSU side.
So a little home advantage, slight lean there for LSU.
Just a slight lean towards LSU there. Something else that was interesting, we mentioned Arkansas sweeping Texas last week. Arkansas, as you said, has dropped down to 4-1, but Texas, I mean, it's like no one believes them now. They're back to 15-1. If you remember last week, they were five
Except
they
for
were 5-1.
Except for the pollsters, the people voting in the polls. But the real money says, Texas is now suddenly a bit of a long shot to win the College World Series after getting waxed, absolutely thumped at Baum Walker Stadium.
But that could move based on what happens this weekend.
Well, I guess.
mean, who knows?
I guess.
It happens fast.
The interesting thing to me, Zach, is that hasn't happened to Arkansas. They lost 3 consecutive SEC series, and their odds to win the College World Series didn't really go down. Or didn't go up, however you want to say it, like Texas's did after losing this last weekend.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting to see that big of a jump, to go all the way up to 15-1 from 5-1. That says something. Even though they are still in the top, they're about co-5th choice right now, co-6th choice in the betting odds. But yeah, definitely different than the polls. And then similar over in the Women's College World Series. I don't have games on the board right now, but we do have the winner of the College World Series in Arkansas just a few weeks ago, 25-1. They've dropped down to 15-1. And I wouldn't be shocked to see if they keep winning games that continue to go down.
Well, I was going to ask you about softball. And you just said how Arkansas stacks up there. That's that's one of those things that's captured Razorback fans' attention. And I just wonder if you're going to see some action on that on your app.
Yeah, I think that is something that's definitely growing. If we haven't discussed it, even just a few years ago, college baseball was a lot more rare to see taking wagers on than, say, college basketball or college football. So softball is just a little bit behind the college baseball, but they're both growing very rapidly, especially down here in the South or in the SEC. As we talked last week, most of the top teams in both of these leagues come from the SEC. So I think it's just going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to expand. I'm pushing to get some of these games on the board, but it will likely be the regional tournaments where we first start offering actual game lines for the softball.
Okay.
Zach Gillum, Director of Betting at Oaklawn Sports. Zach, what else is happening at Oaklawn Sports? We got the NBA playoffs. Any interesting things to look at?
Yeah, there's been a lot. NBA, you've seen some upsets, some outright win from underdogs, but right now Thunder's still up on top. They're minus 108 to win the championship. Celtics at plus 350, so those odds aren't quite as low. They're getting a little bit longer. So that's one you can dive into, look at. We also still have the Western and the Eastern, and those odds have been shifting quite a bit given the Knicks and the Celtics series. Thunder still minus 200 to win the West, so not a big shakeup there. The Timberwolves are at 300. But over in the East, the Celtics are at plus 160, and the Knicks are at plus 275. The Cavs at 3-1, and the Pacers at 350. So pretty even filled right now in the East.
Wow, plus 275 for my Knicks guy over here.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, when you've got like a game 2 or really a game 1 in that Knicks-Celtics series, I know you guys, you can wager during the game. When you've got a team that comes back like that or wins a game unexpectedly like they did, especially in game 2, not just for the Oaklawn ad, but I just wonder nationwide what it was, what you're hearing, what it was like during that.
Yeah, it's I don't feel like it's too uncommon. It's something NBA or even NFL nowadays we talk about with some teams. You got to wait and see who has the ball last, who's going to win the game. And NBA is no different. These guys are very good. They can go on streaks where they go on 30-point runs, and it takes a game you think's out of hand the one direction, and the other team come back and win. And we've seen it time and time again just in the last few weeks. It has been fun. As you said, we offer this wagering live, so there are people that will dive in on some of these long shot comeback, 20-1 to come back and win the game, and they do it. So those options are there. They are long shots for a reason. They don't happen too often, but when they happen, they're fun to talk about, and obviously very fun for your bankroll if you've made that wager.
Bart's the only one thanking everybody for his bankroll this weekend.
I wouldn't have put any money on it the other night.
Yeah,
but they did it.
Yeah. Well, now the Knicks are are they playing tonight?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, game 3 tomorrow afternoon. Zach, thanks so much. Always great stuff. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely. Don't forget this weekend, UFC 315. That is on the board. And then next week, the PGA Championship in action. Rory McIlroy, your favorite there at plus 400.
Wow, that's already that next weekend.
Wow, plus 400.
Time is flying.
Yeah.
The PGA Championship. All right, Zach, thanks again. Have a great
Zach.
weekend. And we'll talk to you again next week. Zach Gillum, Director of Betting of Oaklawn Sports. Oaklawn Sports app, if you haven't downloaded it, new customers earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. You can go to the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store, get in on the action. And they've got that 10% profit boost for new and existing customers on qualifying 3-leg parlays. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. All right, Brent and Cersei's been holding. So, Brent, fire away. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Yes, I wanted to give you my 2 cents on what you got, Chuck. You and Bo were and Bart were still eloquently did a good job about talking about the Razorback football program and where I believe we hit our dark patches.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
Are you there?
Yeah. Go ahead. We're listening.
Okay.
We're not very good at
we
it.
We hit our first dark patch when Coach Petrino had the motorcycle accident, and our fearless athletic director at the time, Jeff Long, replaced him with John L. Smith, who was incapable of coaching a Pop Warner team at that point in his life. That was an unobliterated disaster. Then we go out.
I don't think that's a word.
Then you
Small.
He made what was everybody praised a good hire in Brett Bielema from Wisconsin. Correct.
Correct.
And Brett Bielema had it going in the right direction. We had a rough first year. Then we kept steadily getting better. And then when the wheels came off of the Brett Bielema program was when he lost Coach Pittman to Georgia as offensive line coach, and he made an unobliterated disaster hire of Kurt Anderson as offensive line coach.
Yes.
That's when it started really crumbling, and then he couldn't, and then the wheels really started coming off when we played Virginia Tech in the Belt Bowl and lost a 28 point lead or something like that, and we lost to Missouri the year before. You know the games I'm talking about. We had big leads.
Yeah, we know the history. We know the history. We've got it. We know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we decide we're going to fire Brett Bielema.
Well, we can't. We don't, Brett. We don't. I'm sorry. We just don't have time to go through like all of that right now.
Okay, we didn't have an athletic director when we hired Chad Morris. That's
right.
Disaster number two.
That's what we talked about. Yep.
You can't have anybody hire a football coach that doesn't know anything about it. And Chad Morris, if he'd have stayed at SMU another 2 years, he'd have been fired from there. So now we've got it. Coach Pittman took a bad football team, and he's had.
Okay, listen. We're out of time. I'm sorry. We'll do it again some other time. It's the Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck, you've been around a while, and look, I don't mean that ugly. And Bo, you've been around not as long as Chuck.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story. At the Stonebreaker Hotel, we believe in the art of gathering, whether over a thoughtfully prepared meal or a quiet moment on Markham Hill. Start your day with breakfast classics from the all-day menu, served from 7:30 to 1. Savor shareable bites from the bar and lounge menu until 10. And let the dinner menu from 5 to 9 bring familiar flavors with a fresh twist. And for a weekend well spent, how about brunch? Rooted in connection, designed for comfort. Learn more at stonebreakerhotel.com.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, fellas, listen up. Mother's Day is coming fast, and if you're still thinking flowers and a card are gonna cut it, think again. You wanna know what your lady really wants? A little time to feel pampered, refreshed, and maybe a little bit more fabulous. That's why I'm sending you to the spa at Swetnam Cosmetic Surgery. We're talking Botox to smooth the lines, luxury facials that'll make her glow, and top-notch treatments to help her look and feel amazing. Trust me, this is the gift that she actually wants. So don't wait. Call ahead to Swetnam Cosmetic Surgery at 479-966-4174. That's 479-966-4174. Grab a gift card or book her appointment today. The spa at SCS. Look good, feel even better. Again, call ahead at 479-966-4174 today and talk to our front desk coordinator who will make sure mom is feeling extra special this Mother's Day. Be the guy who gets it right.
You want to talk about washed? You're being brainwashed by idiots. You're following idiots.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm leaving for more money if I can find it. The portal's open on the show.
Okay.
I think the NPR station's on the phone.
Now they're funding good cut.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Mother's Day is coming up. You might think about Oaklawn's Resort and the 4-star Forbes Spa at Oaklawn. Call down, go online, maybe get a gift card, treat mom to something special. Even if she can't make it to Oaklawn this weekend. That is one heck of a gift and one she won't be expecting. Mom's Day coming up. Make sure you have something for it. Bart, what do you have in our special Oaklawn segment today?
Yeah, we're going to play a little game, play or pass. I'm going to give you odds on something. You're going to tell me if you're going to play those odds or if you're going to pass on the bet. So whether you like the bet and if the odds are good for you, right?
So, lay it on us.
Play or pass. Arkansas minus 110 to beat LSU tonight in baseball.
Play.
I'll play that.
How about Arkansas as the plus 400 favorite to win it all?
I'll play that.
4-1 odds.
They're the lowest odds.
It's good odds. It's a value.
Well,
buy.
I mean, there are better odds, and winning it all is hard.
4-1's good return.
But I kind of just feel like it's Arkansas's year. Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. How about the Razorback softball team plus 1,500?
I'm in on that. That's all the value.
That number. That's
a long
a lot
shot.
of value.
It's a long shot.
That's a payout.
A lot of value.
Well, I mean, they're only like 5 teams ahead of them in the odds. So, and how about this last one?
We're gamblers.
Last
we're
one.
taking every bet so
That's
far.
right. Yeah.
Last one. I'm gonna give you NBA champion odds real quick. You tell me which one you're taking. Oklahoma City minus 108, Celtics plus 350, Cavs 8-1, Timberwolves 9-1, Knicks 10-1, Pacers 14-1. I'll tell you which one I'm taking.
Which one?
The New York Knicks 10-1. Best bet on the board, I think, in terms of value.
If I was going to bet a long shot in the NBA playoffs, I would go with either the Knicks or the Indiana Pacers.
100%.
Indiana's playing well right now. If you're going to bet a long shot, bet the Eastern Conference champion. Because they're not going to be favored.
I'm going to pass.
Are you? You're going to pass?
On all of them?
On all of them.
Yeah. Bo's anti-NBA.
Well,
playoffs.
I mean, it just felt like the right time to say no.
The Thunder at minus 108 is not worth.
I've already loaded up
There's
on
no
my
value
previous
there.
bets. I'm going to pass. You don't have to bet everything.
Hey, can you bet an exact on who's going to get to the NBA Finals if you pick both those?
There might be a matchup bet. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Bart's like, and I'm going to wheel them
That's right. Yeah.
in there with the Knicks.
Well, you can't do that.
And I'm gonna throw Scotty Scheffler in a box.
And the parlay.
Hey,
he tried to do that in Louisville.
Scotty next week at the PGA Championship. Him or Justin Thomas probably going to be some good value there.
So 1 year ago today, just almost 1 year ago, Scotty was in a box.
He's got the golf, basketball, World Bago Championships, PGA tournament, darts parlay going.
What are the
if
odds?
all 5 of them hit, Bart's retiring.
What are the odds on Scotty Scheffler getting arrested at the PGA Championship for a second consecutive year?
Probably 1,000,000 to 1.
Play or pass?
Pass.
Have a great weekend. It's Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the great moms out there.
Chevy of Fayetteville is kicking off end-of-the-year savings this May. Drive home a new 2025 Chevy